Hey everyone, and welcome to the Unfiltered Feedsters presented by the Big Brother Insider. I'm your co-host Nick,
And I'm your co-host, Rachel.
and this is a show about being completely unfiltered. Everything that we want to say about Big Brother, we're going to say it here. This opens up a new platform for us to talk with our fans and talk about anything Big Brother. Just a little disclaimer, these are our opinions, and you have your right to your own opinion, but these are ours, and they're subject to change throughout the season. Just wanted to get that out of the way. Also, we're keeping it 100% game talk and gameplay. You know, if drama happens with something, yeah, we might bring it up, but other than that, we're keeping it strictly Big Brother. We want to tell you a little bit about ourselves. First off, again, I'm Nick, and I've been working for John, who owns the BigBrotherInsider.com since last summer. I started blogging, doing spoiler updates, and I did my Nick's Corner. It was out every Friday. And thank you, everybody. If you're viewing now who viewed it, thank you. Also, I had done live tweeting. It would be all day and all night. I don't ever sleep when Big Brother season's on. I don't sleep as it is. So, and this year we started the web show. It's been an idea that John wanted to do for a while, and Rachel and I were actually able to bring it to the light. So let's all praise the Jocasta candle right here. Praising. So that's a little bit about me. I'm really excited for the web show. Rachel, you want to tell them about yourself a little bit? And you can also tell them about how we met and stuff too. So
Right. Well, my name's Rachel, obviously, and Nick and I started talking on Twitter a couple seasons ago about Big Brother and everything. And last summer we talked all the time, constantly messaging each other about Big Brother. Last summer was my first time buying live feeds, and I didn't realize how much it would change my life, and that's really weird to say, but you literally change your sleeping schedule. You don't ever go hang out with friends or see your family. You wake up, watch live feeds, eat, and that's basically it. And back in December, Nick was asking me to come on the BigBrotherInsider.com, and I wasn't really a big fan of it. I didn't really want to blog. So he started asking me, well, why don't we do this web show? And I was like, well, that sounds like a cool idea. And so we've been planning since the first week of January, and it's finally the end of June. We're so excited for Big Brother, and I cannot believe that Big Brother season is finally here. I'm so excited.
can we get an amen?
Amen.
Thanks, Jocasta. Again, we're really excited for this platform. And Rachel, let them know what you're doing besides the web show.
Oh, yes, I am also live tweeting from at the Unfiltered Feeds and posting spoilers on Instagram at Unfiltered Feeds. So you can find us there and like our page and follow us.
Yes, and also, guys, just let you know, all of our stuff is down below, all the links and everything. So you don't have to be like, oh, at Unfiltered Feeds, let me go there now. Everything's down below. Don't worry about it. So this first episode is going to be of us, our first impressions of the Houseguests. The first interviews happened with Jeff on CBS All Access. If you guys haven't gotten your feeds yet, make sure to get them. The links are down below, okay? We had like maybe 2 to 3 minutes of interview. It really wasn't that in-depth. Then the Big Brother Network had put out their interviews, and they were like about 7 to 9 minutes, so they were a little more in-depth. More questions were asked. You were able to get a better feel of the house guests. And the Big Brother Network link will be down below if you haven't seen those either. We want to get started with our first house guest. We're going to run through them alphabetical order, and our first one, we're going to start off with Audrey.
Audrey is a first-time applicant, and she has told us that she's seen every season and every episode, and she thinks that she's going to be one of the stronger females in the house. And one of her strategy plans is she wants to find something in common with every house guest, and she wants to fill people out and kind of get a better understanding of who everyone is. And she also said that she doesn't want the house guests to know how smart she really is. So we'll kind of see how that goes into her gameplay. She was asked if she would go after the first HOH, and she said that she wouldn't mind winning the first HOH. And when asked who she would target, she said that she would go after the Derricks of the house. I don't think we have any of those this summer, but she obviously didn't know that. And obviously Derek won, so he would be a good person to target in the house. And with alliances, she is open to a showmance. I think she more along the lines meant she will exploit the showmance and try to get further in the game by being in a showmance. And she also said that when asked who her game most resembled, she said that it resembled no one. She wanted to be the first Audrey of Big Brother.
I respect her for that. I really do. Also, she says that she's a digital media consultant. For me, when I first saw her interviews, she kind of came in like a bitch. Like, she came off to me like, oh, wow, she's a real bitch. I'm not going to like her. And then when I thought about it some more and I watched her interview again, I'm like, no, she's not acting like a bitch. She's confident. Audrey has a lot of confidence, and it's very strong.
Right.
And that's what I really like about her. She said, I'm ready to play the game. I'm ready to go in there. I'm ready to rip people's heads off. I'm ready to win competitions, and I'm ready to boot you out the door. We're ready to boot them out the door.
She wants to play like Dexter.
Oh, yeah, she did say that. She wants to play like Dexter, you know, have everything, you know, finally put out. And I was very captured by the way how she wants to play the game. I've never heard anybody explain it like that.
Right.
She's a super fan of the show. And she's Big Brother's first ever transgendered house guest. This is breaking molds, breaking barriers that you've never seen on a reality TV show before. And I'm really excited to see this because, you know, for the longest time it's been, oh, here, that gay guy on Big Brother or that gay girl on Big Brother. They're breaking the barrier. They're showing that light on that community.
Right. They're shedding light on the transgender community.
And it's exciting to see that. And I'm excited to see how people are going to react because Big Brother started off as an experiment, and now they're experimenting with shedding light on this community. And I think it needs to happen. I mean, it started happening with Caitlyn Jenner.
Right.
Now we have a transgender on a reality TV show, and I really do hope that everybody that's watching, is open to it, and they're not passing judgment, and they're not saying, I don't want to watch Big Brother because I don't agree with that lifestyle.
Right.
No, give it a chance and really accept her for who she is.
And also, her being transgender does not change how she's going to play the game.
And
that is her.
And also, it doesn't define her.
Exactly.
It does not. That transgender does not define Audrey.
Exactly. And as
Audrey.
I really hope that people aren't so judgmental of her and really try to be open-minded with her whole situation. And watching Julie on the talk Wednesday discussing the whole situation, she said that the fans were not supposed to know until premiere night. Honestly, I'm glad it was leaked. I'm glad that we do know. I feel like a lot more fans would have been upset about it if we didn't know. Exactly. And I'm glad that we do know. And I also really do hope that she doesn't get hate for it. Her family doesn't get hate for it. We will not tolerate any of that in our comments.
No, not at all. And yes, we're unfiltered. We say how we feel, but we're not attacking people. Exactly. You know, this is all in good fun. And we're not going to sit here and tolerate any judgment put down on her. So we hope you guys, you know, feel the same way. And we're just really excited for Audrey to play this game and just see how things happen and fall out. So we're rooting for you, Audrey. Next up, we have Austin.
Austin he was wrestling professionally, but he got injured and had surgery a couple places, and now he's making a comeback, and he wrestles independently now. This was his first time applying for the show. He's a diehard super fan. He watches the feeds and everything, which is a real super fan.
Thank you.
Watch the feeds. He does have an alter ego whenever his top hat comes on. Not really sure how that's going to play with the house. It'll be interesting to see, but he doesn't want the house guests to know that he's come back to wrestling. He wants them all to think that he's a weak player because he's injured, even though he's really big and like looks really strong. He wants to come off as a weak player, and he's going to tell everyone that he's an ex-wrestler and had to retire because of injury. But he is 100% confident that he can perform in the comps.
I think it's going to be exciting to see.
Yeah, I think it's going to be very interesting to see, because he also said that he wants to do backflips and cartwheels and all that in the backyard. I'm not really sure how you're going to be able to do all that in the backyard and say that you're injured and can't compete.
Exactly. I remember him saying that he wants to be the social butterfly of the house.
Yes.
And my whole take on it is that people are going to look at him and his appearance. And yes, it sucks that people judge on appearance, but everybody does it.
Right.
So he said, I'm trying to be the social butterfly, but I think he'll stand out because of his image. And people will be a little awkward, a little weird by him. And that's going to throw a target on his back anyways.
Yeah.
So, I mean, just being genuine and stuff like that, I would like to see how his gameplay turns out. He said his gameplay is most going to resemble Dr. Will's game, because there was that side to him that flipped on, that this smart, innovative player that was being strategic and just game moving everything. He never had to win a competition. He's hoping he doesn't have to do that, but he's going to have to pull some legwork. Also,
another thing that I wanted to mention, he is not open to a showmance. He has a girlfriend. He's happy with her. So we won't be seeing any showmances from him. And one thing I found interesting about the Big Brother Network interviews is that towards the end of the interview, the guy would always ask, like, what is your personal goal, or what are you most excited to get out of this experience? And one of his things that he said was he's most excited to get yelled at by Big Brother. Watching that on the feeds, we always hear a lot about it. I think that's a lot of SuperFans' dreams, is to be yelled at for stop singing and all that stuff. And I found that really interesting that he was excited to be a part of that and be yelled at for it, honestly.
Yeah, it does. It hits home, because when we're sitting there, we're just mimicking them. It's like, Derek, stop singing. And then it's like, how cool would it be if they actually said your name and that?
Right.
Like,
Right.
He also said in his interview that he can be a good manipulator.
Yeah.
That he can manipulate people. And, by listening to the way that he talks, I can see that. And I do think that's going to really help his game. I just hope he can pull it off. And I hope that he can tie everything together, I think it's going to be interesting to see how he flips the top hat on and becomes Judas.
Right.
For you guys that don't know that, his alter ego he calls Judas. And he's this smooth talking, like, game player ready to get everything done. As Austin's this bubbly, wouldn't really do that kind of backstab thing. I think it's going to be hard, because it's like a flip of a switch, and he goes from I'm Austin to let's do this. Let's get this done.
Oh, another thing I've forgot to mention, he did say that if he won the first HOH, he wouldn't go after the big threats the first week, which is smart in a sense, but he is going to be one of the bigger threats. So, exactly. I mean, he can't really go after himself if he wins HOH.
I mean, honestly, I think if you win, when you first start off the game of Big Brother, I don't think it's a smart idea to win the first head of household. I don't also think it's smart to be the first or second person to fall off, because they usually say, hey, you fell off first, you fell off second, you're on the block. And then if they won veto or whatever, they're like, oh, we'll put the third person up or something, or somebody that really annoyed them that week.
Right.
Tough it out. Be like the 8th or 9th person to fall off or something. Show you have some strength, but you're too weak to fully put it out.
Right.
I just think that puts you in a bad position to be first head of household. And if you are going to be first head of household and you're going to put somebody on the block, put up big players. Make the game moves. Right. It may backfire on you, but make the game moves to get them out, and show people that you're a threat and you're here to play, and they'll come be in an alliance with you.
Exactly. Wholeheartedly agree.
I mean, that's the way that I see it. I'm open to hear anybody else's comment. Like, if you want to comment down below so we can read them, and I want to know your opinion about that. Moving on to Becky.
Oh God. One of the things that I wrote, I didn't write a whole lot of opinionated stuff, but one of the things that made me very standoffish is she compared her game to Brittany Haynes, and Brittany is my favorite player of all time just because she is so freaking funny, and she better kill it in the DR if she wants to compare her game to Brittany. That's all I have to say about that. Other than that, this was her first time trying out. She started watching last year, which is very interesting. I'm not really sure how that's going to play into her game, but she lived in Germany for a while. She had opened some type of business and dealt with a lot of females at her work. So I think that will help her in the game. She's very athletic, but she doesn't want the house guests to know how athletic she is. And she doesn't want to be a floater in the game. She wants to play low-key at first, but she doesn't want to float throughout the whole game, which there's a fine line between floating and playing low-key. So it'll be interesting to see if she can actually ride that line and not go into the floating and stay playing low-key. And one of the things that she said she doesn't want the house guests to know is that she's good with numbers and people. Because she works, like she owns her own business or whatever, she is going to have to be very good with numbers and people.
Yep.
So she's also open to a showmance, and she did say that if she won the first week, she would let the house kind of pick who to nominate, which once again, she doesn't want to get blood on her hands first week. So she's going to kind of ride it out and see what all she could make in alliances with the house guest.
When I watched her, and for both interviews, she said, I'm a retail manager and I opened up a store in Germany, and that's her biggest, like, I'm like, okay, you opened your store in Germany, like, congratulations. That's her biggest, like, that's her biggest goal, like, accomplishment. You know, it's like, great, you did that. You know, I mean, I'm not knocking her for it, but it's like, when the interviews are happening, it's like, you know, tell us what you're going to do. All she did was talk about, like, her personally, like, she's very athletic. She's smart and she's good with numbers. She's very sweet, very well-rounded. She did say for her game a little bit that I picked up that she'll lie to people but not personally attack them. I saw that she really can't take pressure, and I was like, she's snooze alert right away. I'm like, no, not at all. And then especially when she said she compares her gameplay or her personality or something to Brittany Haynes, I'm like,
okay,
10,000 Picasso candles, I just need lined up because I don't see that happening. I mean, prove me wrong. I mean, first impressions, it's all I'm getting. Prove me wrong. Right. I would really like to like you.
That is what people need to understand. This is first impressions. We have no clue how they're going to be in the game. We
Not
can
at all.
love one person and hate them in the game because their gameplay is terrible.
Exactly.
So first impressions, people.
First impressions. And talking about first impressions, let's move on to our favorite house guest, Clay. Disclaimer, he's not at all. No. Wait, insert the British. No, yeah, I know. No, yeah, I know.
So, should I go into detail about Clay?
Please, because start off, try to give him a little bit of build up so I can just knock it down.
Okay. So, what he said was that someone told him that he should try out, and that was when he started watching this season. 3 months ago. He's a super fan of 3 months, guys. Congratulations to him that he watched 8 seasons in 3 months. But honestly, do we really consider that a super fan? No.
Not at all.
He's not a super fan in the slightest.
In my book, super fan consists of watching the show every week, every episode, never missing anything, watching the feeds, following spoiler sites, thebbinsider.com, and, you know, following people who live tweet at Unfiltered Feeds, and just keeping up with everything. Just like you're just constantly big brother. I mean, yes, he can be a fan, and I hope he really is a fan, and he becomes a super fan after the experience. But right now, I'm not classifying him as a super fan. Please.
More things about him. He thinks that playing, because he was a college athlete at Texas A&M. Boo. He thinks that playing football will help him be able to read people more, and he is open to a showmance. Yikes. I also wrote down that he makes me want to vomit, mainly because of the whole super fan comment. But he did say that if he wins the first HOH, he would target a big player if he 100% knows that he has the votes to send them out. If he's kind of on the fence about if he has the people to send them out, he's not going to target them, which is kind of an interesting comment because that is something that a fan of the show would know. But he's not a super fan, people.
Okay, let me take it from here. If
Go
he was to
ahead.
win the first HOH, if he was to, I think he would evict himself. He would be the first one. He would put himself on the block and he would evict himself.
Not when the POV.
I don't think he knows what show he's on. And the Jeff interview was so awkward.
Honestly, I thought they were going to lean in and kiss each other.
I literally thought they were going to make out. I'm like, what's going on here? I think he's a complete airhead and he's very spacey. And I'm not attacking him upon those things, but when you watch the interviews, he doesn't know what's going on. He doesn't know where he is. He doesn't know what he's getting himself into.
But that could be because of the whole experience. You know, when you get into the show, you don't really think you're going to get on it.
Exactly.
That could be why. And he could come in and just be the best player in the game. And more power to him if he is.
Exactly. And I really hope he proves me wrong. But as a first impression, I'm really enjoying, like, as a super fan, I'm just sitting here like, what are you doing? And I'm just like, I said to when Rachel and I, we were watching the interviews live together and we were writing all our stuff down about them. I said, I'm praying to Jocasta that he is not a complete airhead. And then that's where the Jocasta candle came from. Because I'm like, we need a Jocasta candle. I hope that he does prove us wrong. And I hope
he brings something to the game.
I hope so. Because
also, another thing about him, I don't know if the reports are true or not, but I did hear that someone broke into his house after his name got released that he's going to be on Big Brother and stole some guns of his. That is the most cruel thing you could ever think of. I don't know why someone would do that. You have to, like, someone has to really hate you to do that. And
my thoughts and, like, prayers go out to his family.
I honestly hope that they didn't take anything valuable.
Yeah, I hope everything's okay. So, you know, we're rooting for you guys. We hope everything's okay.
Moving on.
Let's get on to our next house guest. I'm so excited for her. She's like, when I saw her, I said to Rachel, I'm like, Rachel, like, yo, I don't know what it is about her. She just screams winner.
She just wants to go. Like, she just wants to play right now.
Yeah. So our next house guest we're talking about is Devon. I believe I said that correctly.
Devon.
Something
along those lines. We will learn this.
I feel like it's Devon. Please give us some, you know, a little time to learn all the house guests and everything. But I think it is Devon. Anyways, moving on from that.
Okay, this is her first time auditioning, and one thing that I really liked about her story is her grandmother. She used to watch Big Brother with her grandmother, and her grandmother used to tell her, you know, you need to go be on Big Brother, and she was like, Granny, they ain't gonna let no little girl from Inglewood, California be on Big Brother. And I just found that so, like, relatable because people from, like, small towns and stuff like that aren't able, like, they feel like they can't get on.
Mm-hmm.
But the sad thing about that is that her grandma passed away and missed season 16. She had seen every season up to that point, so she had to watch season 16 by herself. One thing that is very interesting about her is that she is a poker dealer, and she doesn't want the house guests to know this because she thinks that it will hurt her game, because in order to be a good poker dealer, you have to know how to play poker. And everybody knows about a good poker face.
Be able to, like, bluff and, you know, just be cold stone.
Right. Continuing on, for the first HOH, she wants to be, like, the third or fourth person left up there. She doesn't want to win, and she doesn't want to come off as too weak, which is a great idea. And for the first week, she just wants to get to know people and, you know, kind of fill people out, and kind of, she said that she wants an alliance of two people, her and two other people, which is a great idea. She also said that she did not want to be a floater and she doesn't want to play the game too hard, which is a very difficult thing to not play the game too hard too fast because I heard that everything speeds up in there.
Yeah, they say literally.
I really hope that she can pull it out. And she did say that if she won HOH, that she would go after a big target.
And I do hope she does, because there hasn't been in a long time somebody that makes big game moves in the game.
Right.
I love, she's very loud, very energetic. She's a straight shooter. With her poker, you know, like job being behind her, she's gonna know how to play it, and she's gonna sell it. I think she's really gonna sell it to America.
Oh, another interesting fact about her. She is a mother to a 7-month-old kid.
Yes.
I found very interesting. I did not think a lot of mothers would leave behind such a young child, but hey, more power to her. She's playing the game for her daughter, and I hope that she goes really far and does really good things.
Me too. I just hope it doesn't turn into hashtag Devon had a daughter or hashtag Devin had a daughter situation. Not at all.
Oh my gosh, I really hope not.
I love that you brought up the mother part, because I remember her saying that she's going to play the mother card, but to a certain extent. She's going to make it so that they feel bad for her that she left her 7-month home, like her child home.
Right.
So Houseguests feel sympathetic. She did say that she wants to do a 2-person alliance. And she wants her game to like reflect as Danielle from season 3, where she had a really good, strong alliance with one additional person, and the rest were just coming and going.
Right. They were all like
one sole person in that house to be her alliance member. And I think that's a great idea, because Danielle got really far, but she didn't win. But Devon said, hey, I want that game as well, but I want to be more sociable, and I want to be taking that extra, I want to take that extra step and get to the end. But she'll play dirty, but nothing really crazy enough to say, hey, I'm not going to vote for you at the end.
Right.
And I respect her for that. I respect her coming in as being a new mother and playing this game for her child.
I cannot wait to see what all she does in the house.
I can't wait. I can't wait to see what she brings and how she brings it. I just really hope she holds up.
And I really hope that these twists that they're throwing every week does not screw her up.
I know. And we'll get to the twist talk at the end of this. The twist talk. Next up on our agenda is Jace.
Jace is basically Hayden 2.0. This is his first time auditioning. He's a very outgoing person. He said that he wants all the house guests to know that he's not a quitter, which is very interesting. I haven't figured that one out. And he said that he's going to try to win the first HOH. And if he did, he would put up a weak player. And he also wants a strong 2-person alliance with someone's secret, which is what an alliance is. So I wasn't understanding why he said that it had to be secret. But he is a very good talker. He knows a lot about Big Brother, which is very interesting. And he did say that he wants to play like Derek as much as possible. So I'm kind of interested to see how much he plays like Derek. He is open to a showmance. And the one thing he said that he wanted to take from this experience was he doesn't want to change himself to win. He wants to go in, be the same Jace that he was going in. He wants to come out that same person, which I respect so much, because a lot of people go in there and they will do anything to win.
They lose themselves. When I was watching his interview, he said he's a personal trainer, he's a skater, surfboarder, whatever. He's everything. Whatever. And I said, oh, so you're the male version of Barbie. Okay. I said, we'll keep it moving. He's willing to do whatever it takes. And I respect him for that comment, saying that he doesn't want to change himself. I noticed that he can really talk. When he sucks you right in and you're listening to what he's saying. This is going to be a great manipulation tool for other house guests. I'm going to really like to see how he gets himself out of situations and into situations, and how he manipulates people to put others on the block. Right. I'm really having a strong feeling from this cast that we have a lot of manipulators and a lot of people that are looking for the same thing but playing it differently.
Well, and we also have a lot of people who watch the game and watch the feed.
We have fans. We have super fans in the house. We
I'm
have a
so
season that we've been craving for. And
Yes,
I
all
hope, I
these
really
Big
hope
Brother fans have been begging for SuperFans, and we finally got it.
I really hope it stands up because I'm excited. When I was talking to Rachel about it, I'm like, you know what he reminds me of? And Rachel's like, Hayden. I said, yeah. I said, no. I was like, he reminds me of Hayden and Cole if they had a baby. He would be Hey Coach, like hashtag Hey Cole's child's baby, just grown up a little bit. I'm excited to see his gameplay. I'm excited to see what situations are brought upon him and how he does in physical aspects. So
I agree.
Next up is James.
Whew. When it comes to James, this is his first time auditioning. Whenever we saw him, I wasn't sure what to expect. He had on camo, but he was Asian.
Can I just say,
I'm not trying to judge, but it was very weird. And his voice.
I sat there and I was like, Bish, what?
Exactly.
I was like, what's going on here?
But
who are you?
He does call himself the hillbilly Asian. He's very proud of it. A little bit about him, his backstory, his mom died of cancer and his dad couldn't take care of him, so a Caucasian family adopted him. And he's from South Carolina, and now he lives in Wichita Falls, Texas, which I also lived there a few years ago, so I was kind of proud to see someone from where I lived be on the show. And I'm trying to root for him. I'm really trying to like him. I'm just not sure that he's going to bring anything to the show because his interviews seemed really dull. But he did say that he's a very trustworthy person and kind of gives off, he said that he doesn't look like it, but he is a beast mode type player. He really said that he wants to know the cast before determining his plan of action. And he's the type of person that can keep a group of people together, which would work really good if you have an alliance of 3 or 4 people, when you have different personalities having to come together to go far in the game. Someone like him could really help keep them together. And he said that he would target big people if he won the first HOH. And his personal goal going into Big Brother is to enjoy the experience and be grateful for being on the show.
When I started watching it, when he said that he was a hillbilly Asian, I said automatically, I was like, hashtag hillbilly Asian.
Right. He also has a kid and adopted son. He has a daughter and an adopted son.
I want to say first and foremost, he does work for our military, so I would like to say thank you for your service, and we really appreciate it. He also said that, like you said, he's a beast. I think he's going to be targeted because he's different. There's nobody like him in Big Brother history. Yeah, you can compare him to Donnie because Donnie was a little out of the box and he was, a little more country and whatever.
Right.
I'm just afraid that house guests are going to be like, oh, that's another Donnie, or oh, he's just out there and he's easy to approach and put on the block. Right. I really hope it's not, and I hope he stands up to saying that he's a beast and he can, win competitions and get people out. I'm excited to hear that if he does win the first HOH, he wants to put a big threat up, and I'm glad that he said that because make the game moves while you can. You never know when you're going to have the chance. And he said that he would be interested in a showmance. It would be low key. I'm sorry, but there's no late night smooching for you. He said he would love a little smoochies, but that's not happening. I'm sorry.
You never know.
I mean, you never know, but I was just like, nope.
Expect the unexpected, people.
Expect the unexpected. More power to you, James. Jason, let's move on to Jason.
Right. So Jason is a very flamboyant person. He uses the word gay glue a lot. We will get into that. But a little bit about Jason. He is a grocery stalker, and he also sent in a video to audition for Big Brother 15. He has a very over-the-top personality, and he also said he knows how to be a people pleaser. Working in grocery business, or like where you have to work around people a lot.
Customer service kind of.
Right. You know how to be a people pleaser. I experienced that over the past couple months. It is not fun having to deal with the public.
Are you sure? I love it.
He did say that he doesn't want people to know that they would have to kill him to get him off winning the HOH. Any endurance comps, he said that people would have to kill him to get him off the endurance. Like, maybe the paint bucket where they had to hold on. He said that he would have to die before he would
compare himself to Danielle from season 8.
Right.
That he's going to come in and be that person that stays on the wall for 9 hours. He's ready to play in endurance. And I respect him for that, because when he was the first interview for Jeff and he said, I'm a super fan, I'm here to play. And I was like, tell me more. And he got into it and he's saying, I want to be that person to be on the wall for 9 hours. I want to play. I'm a super fan. I know what the fans want. And he was just saying everything. He watches the feeds and how he knows how super fans want to play the game. He knows about the game talk. He knows about the strategies. He knows about being, strategic. And he's just very well-rounded in the Big Brother world. And I think he's going to go far in this game. And he's going to put himself into positions where he's going to hold things together. Hashtag gay glue. He wants to sing, like he wants to put himself in the circle of females and be that person. And I don't think he's going to pose a threat to the males or the females, because he's going to be such a likable person. But at the same time, he's ready to backstab you.
As long as he isn't over the top and people are like, he's so annoying, we have to get him out. That would be his only downfall, was that he will be very aggravating to some people. Yeah,
he knows he can be annoying, but he's already said that. He's admitted it, and he said he's going to try to contain it. Right. I'm excited to see how nice to the face he is to people. Oh, you're good, you're good. And when he goes to backstab them, I want to see backstabbing happen. I want to see the knife.
Really
I want to push it in. I want it to turn. I want to see backstabbing happen. I'm excited. I'm really excited for it.
This cast is a really good cast.
I have a lot of energy for this cast. I really hope they hold up to what they're saying, because just let the blood start pouring. Let it be a bad horror movie.
Right.
My blood's pumping. I'm excited. I can scream.
Moving on to the next contestant. Next up is John. He is a dentist, and he said that he's been sending audition tapes for years. Didn't say how many years, so I'm not really sure if that's going to play into effect or anything. But one of the things I wrote down is his voice is so annoying. I don't know what it is. I don't know why, but his voice just irks my nerves.
I compared him to, if anybody ever out there watched the movies Police Academy, he reminds me of Bobcat. If you just look it up, Google it, YouTube it, look it up, and you will see what I'm talking about. The voice. Every time I was watching the interview, I'm like, he sounds like somebody. I can't pinpoint it. And when I found the video, I was done. I was out on the floor. I was hysterical laughing.
But he said that he's going to tell people he's a dentist because people love to talk about their teeth. And he wants to form this alliance with people by talking about their teeth with them. If he can do it, more power to. But woo, I don't know what he's thinking.
Dental buddies.
No,
wait, their alliance name would be the root canals. Wait a minute.
But
wait,
he did.
He's really gonna start. He's gonna really start drilling now. No, I did not have this at the ready to do that pun and that joke. Never mind. We're moving forward.
He is a super fan, and he wants to hide that with people. He talked a lot about how he doesn't understand why super fans go into the game and tell everybody, I'm this huge super fan and I know everything about the game, and just start throwing out facts, which I understand, because a lot of people are afraid of that. A lot of people are scared of the super fans. He did said that he thinks that he needs to try and shut up the first week to not get voted out, which I wholeheartedly agree. Please do that, because I would love to not hear you on my feeds. He did say that he wants a small alliance, and he is open to a showmance. And he wants to target the quiet players if he wins the first HOH. And he said that he thinks people will think his gameplay is more like Caleb. I don't know how. And that he said he's excited to experience the game and the punishments, which I think he's excited for the punishments because he's a super fan and because he understands them.
I think he's just an all-around super fan. When I was first experiencing him, I literally turned and I said, "Who stopped giving him Adderall?" Like, who
He's
stopped?
very all over the
I'm
place.
like, prescribe it now, please. Just please. There was one part he said about putting his cards out on the table. He wants people to know who he is and everything. Do you want to leave the first week? I'll open the door for you. I mean, please, so we don't have to listen to you.
Oh my gosh.
He's really excited.
He's Frankie for me. Like, I'm going to see him. Okay, you're on camera 1. I'm going to camera 4. I'm going to run from him on the feeds.
I'm just gonna be like, wink, wink. Nope, nope. I understand he's a super fan and he's really excited to be there, and I get that. But, bro, get it together.
Calm down, dude.
The one thing that I really just found funny when he said, "Oh, I've put in tapes a bunch of times," I really feel like casting got tired of seeing him, and they're like, "For the love of Jocasta, I do not want to see him again. I don't want to see his tapes. We'll just let him on the show. We'll get rid of him. He'll come on. He'll be out the first week because nobody's gonna be able to stand him. We'll just stop, and we won't have to see him again because we're not gonna bring it back if we have another All Stars."
Exactly.
I was just laughing when I was thinking about that. Next one we're moving on to is Liz.
Liz, very interesting story because the night before the cast got released Monday night, she was a leaked house guest. I don't know who found her, how they found her, I'm not sure, but I was just scrolling the BB17 hashtag and saw that she was a leaked house guest. We had 3 other leaked house guests, 2 really big potential ones, and who knows, they could have been in sequester. We're not sure. They might even be a part of the twist. Who really knows? But Liz was a leaked house guest, and I was very interested to see her on the show. She does have a twin, and she is from Miami. This is her first time trying out. She heard about Big Brother through Portia from season 13. She met her on a boat out in Miami, and Portia was telling her about it. She started watching, and she auditioned for the show and got on the show. She said that she's very outgoing, not basic. She has no filter. She should be on our show. She is competitive. She wants the house guests to trust her. And another very interesting thing is that she told the Big Brother Network guy that she thinks they would keep her around because she can cook and she cleans, which we all know the Big Brother house is a mess.
Yeah.
So anyone that cleans needs to be kept around for the long run.
It's funny that she said that because I never really thought about it that way. I never thought it from a strategic point saying, hey, I'm going to go in and I'm going to cook and I'm just going to be that foundation that they need me. We can't get rid of her. So she's just tossing the box saying, you know.
Right.
She said that she wants to ask the house guests a lot of questions. She wants to get to know them. I find that very interesting because it's kind of like a Dan approach. People literally ask him 5 questions throughout his whole season. He wants to be the one to answer. She wants to be the one to ask the questions and listen. She wants to be a showmancer. I can see her and Clay becoming a showmance. I can see that happening, but we'll see how that plays on. And
honestly, I really hope not because I kind of liked Liz, and I really, we all know how we feel about Clay.
Yeah, we already know. The funny thing that I thought about, she was like, I want to play like a Rachel game. I said, well, you're not going to play a Rachel game, and the only thing you and Rachel have in common are your voices.
Exactly.
I love Rachel to death. I love her. She's a great competitor.
And you're meeting her. And
I'm meeting her June 26th, Big Bro Group. Make sure you buy your tickets if you live in the area. Go. I'm serious.
New Jersey.
I'm really excited to meet her. And we'll have a show about that, so stay tuned for information. But yeah, I'm not hating on Rachel's voice. I'm not hating on her voice. Like, that's the only thing you two have in common. From a sarcastic, funny point.
She wanted to put her on spin on Rachel's gameplay.
Yeah, no, nobody's gonna come between Rachel and her game. Pun intended.
She did say that she was excited to get to know the house guests, and she wanted to make her family proud and represent Miami well, which honestly I hope she does. She seems like a very nice person, and I'm not really sure. Wasn't able to really pick up how, if she's like a slit your throat type of person, or if she's more like, I'm a nice person, I don't want to slit your throat. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out.
I'm interested to see how that is too, because, you know, from her game point, she's very energetic. She's very ready to go. And I feel that about a lot of house guests. But I do think she can be a target because she does seem like, you know,
The loud type.
the loud type, and she also seems like the tomboy type, so she'll fit in with the guys.
Right.
And the girls really won't like that. I mean, I'm not saying this cast is ugly. Not that they're less fortunate, but we're used to seeing a commercial cast, very pretty looking people. This cast is very normal. It's very normal looking. And I'm excited about that because I don't have to sit in bed at night and hate myself while I'm eating, you know, my bowl of French toast crunch and be like, I don't have abs. You know, I mean,
because we all know I've heard that 1,500 times the past 5 months.
I mean, I'm happy that they are a little bit less fortunate. I love that.
They're more relatable in that.
They're more relatable, I should say. And I'm really excited about that. You know, it's just something that I was thinking about. And it's just how I feel. So next one we're moving on to is Meg.
I'm so excited for Meg. Oh my goodness.
I gotta say this. She said, my name's Meg, but my nickname is Goose. So I was like, okay, she's now known as Goose. So when you see us tweeting from @Unfiltered Feeds, know that if we're saying Goose or Goosey is in the kitchen talking to Clay about a possible game move, I'm excited to use that. I don't know why. I just had to say it.
He's so excited. But Meg is a super fan, which is so exciting because she was really giddy and excited to be in the diary room and to see Jeff. And this was her first time auditioning. She wants the house guests to know that she's really good at keeping her cool, but she also is a loudmouth, and she said she did want to tone that down a little bit.
Yep.
An interesting thing, she said that she couldn't figure out her strategy until she met the house guests, which is very smart because you don't want to go in thinking you have one strategy and then when it doesn't happen, you completely don't know what to do with yourself.
I completely agree.
She did say that she wants to form a 2-person alliance, and she's okay with the flirtmance, but no showmance because her mom's watching. She said that she does not want to win the HOH, and she was very adamant about that. But she did say that she would target the quiet players if she did. And she loves Brittany Haynes. Okay. Instantly became a favorite. Instantly.
I was so excited when she was like, and one of my favorite house guests, and no, actually her favorite house guest is Brittany Haynes. And I'm like, yes. And she said that she's excited for her diary room sessions. So part of me feels like they're going to have that kind of feel like, do we want to see your HOH room? No, we rather hang ourselves. Like,
exactly.
I want that. I've been waiting so long for that. She also said she's not afraid to make big game moves. And I really like that in a player because it's the last season, it was what the house wants. Fuck what the house wants. I don't give a fuck if you want to please everybody. You're playing your fucking game. Play it.
Exactly.
Make your own moves, make big game moves, and stand out when you need to. That's how I feel about that. Like,
thank God Big Brother 16 is over.
Thank you. It's gone. Praise Jocasta. That's the only thing that's gonna stick around is Jocasta.
Oh my goodness.
Let me see what else I have for her. She said haters are gonna hate, and that's true. It's gonna happen. She'd rather win the money than be loved by America. And I respect that about her because she's in there to play a game, backstab, connive. It's just how it is. You check who you are out the door. And not to like go on a rant or anything, but people need to understand this is the game of Big Brother. You're here to win $500,000. You check everything at the door. You become a new you, and you kill for money.
Exactly.
It's the closest thing we have to the Hunger Games. Okay, people? And I like the Hunger Games.
Oh my goodness.
So,
but yeah, I completely agree. Your gameplay does not represent who you are as a person. Please do not think that. Although some people are the same way that they are in the game, and that is very true. But some people, like Derek, can be very nice outside the house and be like killer inside the house.
We've seen him. He changed his whole persona. He became this different person. I really would like to see how her game plays, and I would love to see her diary room sessions. I'm just excited to see her because she says she's a fan of Brittany Haynes, so I hope she brings it.
Yes.
Next one we have is Shelly with an I, not a Y, but an I.
Yes, it is Shelly. She said that she watched a lot of the show, and this was her first time applying. I'm almost convinced that she's a recruit, partly because when Big Brother Network asked her what she wanted the house guest to know, she froze up. She did not know what to say. When he asked her what she did not want the house guest to know about her, she froze up, didn't know what to say. And she was very boring. Like she just didn't know how to answer the questions. And I really hope that she's not that way in the house. She'll be one of the first ones to go if she is.
I agree.
She wants to lay low in the beginning, which could get her voted out because she is laying low.
Yep.
She said that she is willing to change her game plan as to the way the game changes, which is a very interesting thing for someone who isn't really a super fan to say. I wasn't really sure that a lot of people would know that if they're not like watching the feeds and stuff.
Just to shed a little light on that, I did find that interesting when she said that, because you never find people in interviews saying when the game changes, you have to change with the game.
Right.
They are just finding the next outlet to survive. They're not strategically thinking that you're always going to have to change.
Exactly.
They're just thinking a curveball is thrown at them and they're going to deal with it. Yep. No, you need to be on your feet 24/7.
With it.
Yep.
She did say that she wants to bond with everyone in the first week, which is kind of interesting because it's hard to bond with everyone because there are going to be people that you do not get along with.
Yep.
But if she's able to bond with everyone, more power to her. She said that she doesn't want to be a loud person in the house. And she said that she thinks that she's going to be good at being able to ask people questions and finding out who they're in alliances with, which I've never heard anyone say that.
No.
It really could benefit her in the game in the long run if she can stay around. Do I think she'll stay around? Not in the slightest.
No.
But if she does, it could benefit her.
I just think when she says that, I just hear that she's going to go in and badger people for who they're working for. You're not going to get anywhere by asking simple questions. You need to hit hard, like heavy-hitting questions.
Right.
I find it very funny that, like you were saying, she froze up and stuff. I think she's going to be a bad liar. She's going to be a staller. When people are asking like a question, she's not going to know what to say at all.
Right.
And when she does try to cover up something, she's going to look like an ass. She's not well under pressure as well. She said she adapts well, and I use that very quotey, because if you were able to adapt well, you would be able to answer the Big Brother questions that were asked you in an interview.
Right.
I just don't see a far game for her, and I hope she does change my mind, but I mean,
we shall see.
We'll see. Moving on to our next victim, we have Steve. I would like to just put it out there that Steve is Ian 2.0, if not to the T.
Yes, Steve is my top pick in one of my drafts with one of my friends, and also Nick's top pick. Yep. This is the first time he auditioned. He put in a tape and went to a casting call. He is the biggest super fan that I've seen in his, like, the way he described himself. He's very geeky. He's very awkward. He wants all the house guests to think that he's cute and sweet and very childlike. He doesn't want them to think that he can do anything by himself, pretty much. Yep. He said that he's going to downplay his fandom of the game to the house guests, which is a very good idea because he knows a lot about the game of Big Brother. He also said he plans to collect information with other house guests and do very little talking in the beginning, mainly listening, which is basically what Dan did in his season.
Yep. It's a very smart approach for him.
If he can play it right.
If he can play it right, because I did notice he's like a very big analyst. And he analyzes everything that you do. When you were watching the interviews, he was analyzing everything that they were doing, like behind the camera. And you could see him like looking up, looking over, seeing what's going on, who's writing what. He takes everything in account.
I could also see him being one of the people that are sitting out on the back or on the outside couches, just sitting there pondering at like 6 or 7 in the morning, or kind of being like the Donnie where he wakes up early in the morning and he's just alone in the house by himself. I could really see him being one of those people that
And I can
never
see him I can see him talking to the Feedsters. I could
Oh,
see
yeah.
him, talking about gameplay and stuff.
Please talk to us.
We need Houseguests to talk to us. The last Houseguest to really talk to us was Evil Dick on season 8. And I lived being up for that time when we had the Dick at Night show on Big Brother. He's very Steve is very anxious. I really need him to, he knows he is, and he needs to tone it down. I really do. I really hope he does tone it down, because that's going to be a very uncomfortable and awkward situation in the house, and that's going to get him out the door faster.
But he did say, showmance-wise, that he does not want to get emotionally involved in a showmance, which is great. I'm glad, because he understands. It's kind of like the Ian and what was her name? Goodness, I can't even remember. Ashley?
Yeah.
It's kind of like the Ian Ashley situation where she was just it didn't really affect his game that much, but
it was self-pity for him.
Right. But he said that he does not want to win the first HOH, but if he did, he would go at the house and not get blood on his hands, which is a great move.
He basically said, if you're a super fan, never to win the first HOH.
Right. Another thing, I'm pretty sure it was him that said he would do like the whole, was it whoever won the first HOH, and they kind of like let the house decided, like where Frankie and all the other people were like pushing it on them. Like, I'm trying to remember who it was, but they were like, they ultimately made the decision, but they made other people think that it was their choice.
Yeah.
I think it was Derek that made Frankie think it was his choice to put these certain people up. So that's what he would basically do in the first week.
I do think his analyzing skills and his knowing the game so much and how to manipulate people is going to work in his favor.
Right.
But again, we just ran through a lot of house guests, and a lot have potential to be great manipulators.
We have one more.
Oh, we do have one more.
Vanessa. She is a longtime fan of the show. This is her first time applying. She thinks that mental endurance in the game will be her biggest challenge. She does not want people to know she's a poker player, and she's a professional poker player. She doesn't think anyone will recognize her. If she does, she has a backup story. She didn't really elaborate on what it is, but she will tell people she's from Las Vegas.
I think she said that she is a DJ too, or something like that.
Right, yeah. She will tell people that she's from Las Vegas and she's a DJ, which isn't a lie. She just makes most of her money doing poker. And another interesting fact is she's dating a girl. But when you look her up on Wikipedia, she was married a few years ago. So I'm not sure if she's a lesbian now or if she's bisexual. I'm not sure, but it's we have a lesbian in the house. Very interesting. She's not doesn't want any showmances. She said that she plans to approach the game like she approaches the poker table, which could benefit her big time.
I think so.
You have to have a great bluff. It's kind of like the thing with Devonna being a poker dealer, which is very interesting. I never would have thought in a million years we would have a poker player and a poker dealer in the house together at the same time.
I think what's going to be interesting is that I kind of hope that Devon knows that who Vanessa is, and I kind of hope that she can they can come together and start an alliance, because I think with their history, they would be a force to be reckoned with.
Oh, heck
and
yeah.
I just think that, her being a poker player, it's the whole bluff thing again, like we talked about earlier. She can easily read people,
right,
as well as Devon.
Another thing I wanted to throw out there, if you watch her Big Brother Network interview, she is very in depth in her answering of questions.
Oh yes, she's a flawless talker. Right,
she talks a lot. It can get aggravating, but she knows how to answer questions. She knows how to talk to people, and she said that she is a guy's type of girl because she works in two industries that are male dominated, poker playing and being a DJ. They're very male dominated fields of work. So she could work really well with the guys.
I can see her thinking really quick on her feet. I can see
Right.
her. I can see her whole aspect of her game being very easily spoken
Right.
and getting people to, do what she wants or whatever, or just getting herself out of things. Her biggest thing that she needs to worry about is being recognized.
Yeah, I think that's really going to be her only fear going into the game.
Exactly, but I think she can back it up with talking. And like I said, I hope them two get together because they would be a killer alliance.
Oh,
And
heck.
I would really like to see a girl win this season.
Me too.
I would
Girl
just really like to see
power.
a girl. It's been a long time.
It really has.
Some things that I want to hit on that this Big Brother, everybody knows when Big Brother does their seasons every year, we get if it's 14 people or 16 people, it's majority white people, and then it's your one gay person, and then it's your one black person or two black people.
Right.
And this season, I'm really interested that they have, yes, it's majority white. There's one black person, and then there's three people that that are from a community that work together. You know what I mean?
Right. Like we
it's-
have a gay guy, a lesbian girl, and then the whole transgender situation.
Yes.
And then we have a hillbilly Asian. Who would have guessed a hillbilly Asian?
Like all of this, it's so I love that it's so diverse. I would like to have more ethnicity in the house.
Right.
I mean, that's just like I know Rachel feels the same way. We talk about it all the time. Like I would like to have more. I would like to have more like different just cultures in the house. I would like to see what people bring together, especially that such a big thing in my house. Like I'm Italian. The big thing in my house is eating together, everybody eating together. And I would love to see like what foods they put on the table. And like I would love to see how they get along well with each other.
Another thing that's very interesting, Jocasta in the background is reminding me, we don't have a preacher or like really big Christian, at least not in their interviews. They put that
very big religious person.
Right, which is very interesting. It's been a while since we haven't had one of those.
I think it's different to see how I should actually say you said that there's nobody that's married in the house.
Right. There is no married people. You have two people in relationships, Austin and Vanessa. Everyone else is single, and most of them are ready to mingle, as Jeff would say. And Liz, I want to give her a shout out. She said in her interview with Jeff, she's single, ready to mingle, and eat Pringles.
Can I get an amen? Can I get a Jocasta?
That was so funny. But I'm so excited for this cast. We have a very diverse group of people, a lot of super fans, a lot of fans in general. I can't wait to sit around and talk about Big Brother with y'all. It is going to be a blast this summer. I'm so excited.
I'm very excited to see how this platform is going to work out. I'm very excited to see. I'm very excited to see what kind of fans we have watching, who likes who, for what reasons. We're very big with being involved with you guys. We want to know what you like. In future shows, we're going to have, a whole chat section, all that stuff. I actually have it pulled up to give you guys some information.
We will have Super Fan of the Week, mainly just someone who interacts with us on Twitter. Each week it'll be something different. We'll choose the super fan. We'll have logos up on the website and everything. We're really just excited. I mean, who knows? We might be up at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. The feeds are boring. We could just have trivia night or something. Who really knows? We have a lot for y'all. And we're so excited to hang out with you guys and talk on Twitter. You can always find me. I'm always on Instagram and just basically chat. Also, I want to say that I will try as the season goes on to find the Twitters and Instagrams of the house guests that their family or friends are running. I did have the Asian hillbilly. I did have one of his friends reach out to me on Instagram and tell me to follow his official Twitter account. I will go find that and tweet it out on the Unfiltered Feedsters page, so y'all can follow him on there.
Just to bring up our episode schedule. This is our first episode of our impression, so when you guys are watching this, it'll be Friday, the 19th. Our next episode, which it will be the premiere recap. We're just gonna, talk about what happened with the premiere. Also, June 26th. This isn't going to be live. It's going to be another recorded show. June 26th, I'm going to the Big Brother Bash premiere party in North Jersey, presented by the Big Brother group. And I'm excited, to meet the house guests and all that stuff. And I'll be telling you guys what happened, sharing maybe videos, and I'm going to be sharing photos. I want to ask the house guests, some questions. And there's going to be a live Q&A. So I'm going to try to write down the questions and the answers and, relay it back to you guys. And then finally, our episode 3 is going to be our first live episode. That's going to happen July 3rd, Friday. It's a Friday, and it's going to happen at 8 p.m. Eastern, and it's 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
Also, the second episode is going to be not on a Friday. We're going to have it on Saturday because he's going to be at the premiere bash on Friday. So it'll be the 27th. Hopefully we'll get that up at 8 o'clock on the 27th. Hopefully he's not too tired from his party. But we will try to get that up as soon as possible for you guys.
Yes, we're very excited. So episode 2 will be Saturday, June 27th, hopefully by 8 o'clock at night, if not sooner. And remember, it's Eastern time. Right. And episode 3 will be Friday, July 3rd at 8 o'clock, and we're going to be live. And that's when all the social interaction happens with you guys. We couldn't be more stoked than have this, web show coming to the Big Brother community. There are a lot of web shows out there, even ones that are run by Big Brother alumni. We're not looking to take over anybody's spot. We're just here because we're excited to talk about Big Brother. And I couldn't be more excited to get the fans involved.
I mean, we're unfiltered.
Yeah, can we be honest for a second? We're fucking unfiltered. We don't give a shit. We're going to say what the fuck we want to say.
That's kind of dangerous, but we're so excited to see you guys and hang out. So we'll be back soon.
We'll be back soon. Episode. We want to thank you in advance. Thank you guys for watching and subscribing. Make sure to check out all our social media down below. And if you haven't gotten your CBS Live feeds, the link's down there too. Once again, I'm Nick.
And I'm Rachel.
And thank you guys for watching the first episode of the Unfiltered Feedsters, presented by the BB Insider. We can't wait to be with you live. See you guys soon.
Share your comments below.
Oh, yeah. Don't forget to put those comments down there. We want to hear what you have to say. We want to hear who you like and who you don't like. All right? We'll see you guys soon.
Bye.
See ya. Bye.